All right, so I'm assuming we're live now. Everybody, welcome. This is going to be an awesome show. It is Joe and CJ Robles, and we are going to have a few of the guests from the Horrorville Horror and Paranormal Convention and Trade Show, Cocoa Beach, Florida, this weekend. CJ, how are you, brother?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Joe?
I am excellent. Thank you for asking. So, you surprised everybody by going to what, Rhode Island? Can I expect
Yeah.
to see you in Cocoa?
No, no, not that, not this convention. But man, I would like to surprise you. But at this
Do it.
point, I'm finding out that I just should give you a heads up, and I should kind of meet you somewhere and hang out because it's pretty cool. I love conventions; they're amazing. Going to Rhode Island, that was a big one for me. I've never actually been to the East Coast, and I mean, I've been to like North Carolina, South Carolina, but I never been to like Rhode Island, upper like Boston area. And you made a trip of it. Up there for about 5 days. Had a great time.
Is there any culture shock?
Yes, very, very. It was different. I actually saw. Hey, Sean, I actually saw what like a mansion really was. Hey,
What a
Daniel,
mansion was? You
what a
don't have
real.
you don't have
No, no,
mansions in
no, not
Texas?
like not like a real like. No, we have mansions here. We have ranches.
I
But I'm
was
talking
gonna say,
about.
wasn't one of the biggest soap operas of the '80s
Oh,
Dallas?
Dallas? Yeah. No, but I was talking about like when we drove out to the coast and literally where there's like the beachfront, and then just like a Bruce Wayne house that's just like the entrance is like a mile away, and then there's just the house on top of the hill. I was just like amazed. I was like, wow, I've never actually seen in the background the ocean. I'd never seen that before. Like a portrait. I was like, wow, I'm living in a portrait right now. But outside of that, I love the food. I had the lobster rolls, the best on the East Coast. Hey, Libby. But yeah, it was a great time. I like to now when I go to the conventions, it's not just because the thing about the Rhode Island, it's the you have the convention at the hotel. This wasn't like this. The hotel is basically just where you go and stay the night, and you disperse 'cause it's so small. So we're at the Dunkin' Donut Center, which I thought was pretty cool. It's just massive.
Brandon, how are you,
What's
brother?
up, Brandon?
All right. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring up David Bradley, who's the producer and promoter of this event. So without further ado, Mr. David Bradley. How are you, David?
Hey, every guy, how you doing?
Excellent, excellent. So I'm really excited about this weekend, and I'm going to get there probably around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock on Saturday. And I got a suite, so I'm going to stay the night, and I'm going to
Awesome.
have a fantastic time. So, David, tell us about this event and how you came about it.
Well, we don't have this kind of event on the Space Coast of Florida, and I had started planning this back in 2017, and once I got it where I was comfortable to produce it, we got shut down. So now that we're back and rolling, I'm glad to have it rolling, and we're going to have a great time.
Awesome. So, I mean,
We have an excellent lineup.
you absolutely do. So I know a question on people's mind, which I got to ask: are there any precautions that are being taken, or masks that need to be worn? What's going on with this?
In the state of Florida, we are an open state. Um, the hotel and the venue recommend that you wear a mask, but it is not required. But if our guests feel more comfortable with the mask on, hey, I want you to wear it.
Absolutely. Okay, so tell us what's going down day one.
Day one, after
Get your
opening
list out.
remarks, I'm sorry,
I said, get your list out.
I got it. I got it. We're going to have Charles and Nick. They're going to do a little panel for us. And then I have an open panel. And then we're going to close out our panels that day with Alyssa Rose and maybe Dave Sheridan if he wants to do it. And then at the end of the day, we're going to do a costume contest for both kids and adults, both costumes and cosplay, and we'll hand out awards. And that'll close out day one.
That sounds great. Okay, what's going on day two?
And then day two, we have Scott Taverman from Ghost Hunter International. He's going to do a panel. Mark Patton has agreed to do a panel with us, which is awesome.
Nice.
And also the cast of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original guys. We're going to do a mini panel if they're up to it. And then we'll close out the day on panels with Antoni Carone, who was in Out of Time with Denzel Washington and Eva Mendes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we'll have the costume contest for day two as well.
Right.
the very end of the day, we're going to do a vendor best in show. So they get prizes, and the grand prize is going to be a premium spot at my next show. No matter what it is, they get to choose. And the very end, we're going to give away the seated Chucky doll from a raffle.
Oh, nice.
The actual prop.
It's like
from
the
Universal
life-size
Studios.
one.
Yes.
That is
Creature Workshop is sponsoring that, and so I thank them for that. It's going to be amazing.
very cool. I was actually speaking to Mark over the past week, and he wanted to try his damnedest to get on. He just couldn't get a solid enough connection to actually do anything, unfortunately. He's in all those tropical places right now, so I mean, I can't blame him. All right, well, that sounds awesome. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring up, well, two of our guests, because, again, Dugan's slacking and he's having internet issues. Nothing new, ladies and gentlemen, for you guys who have watched the... Oh, wait. I think he just showed up. Anyway, for those of you who watch past shows, you know John's a little wonky when it comes to this stuff. So, he's giving me a look right now you wouldn't believe. Anyway, I'm going to bring up... One second, please. I'm going to bring up Alan Danzinger first, because he was the first one to show up here, and he is definitely an interesting guy, and he has great bobbleheads. Alan, how are you?
I'm doing great, having a great time.
All right, so we're all looking forward to seeing you Saturday and Sunday. So I'm going to put a close-up on you. Can you show that bobblehead for us?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
There
and
it
if you listen closely, you'll hear what I say.
That's the last goddamn hitchhiker I ever picked up.
Get that?
Oh, wait. Whoa, nobody wants to see that. Good Lord. That was scary. All right, so I am going to bring up Mr. Dugan as well right now. So as everybody knows, that John and Alan were from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. John, how are you, sir? On a delay again.
What?
I love John. John, I think you're on a slight delay. John, I think you're frozen. Oh, there you are. Hey, John, what are we doing this weekend?
You talking to me?
You're the only John on screen, sir. You're live.
Joe, are you talking to me?
I am talking to you, John.
Hey, Joe. Joe, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me, John?
Fuck. Your audio is terrible too.
My audio
Can you
is
hear me at all?
Yeah, we can hear you. Just remember, I'm not on the phone. I got the professional equipment.
I'm sorry, man. Oh shit. Let me hold on.
All right, John.
Let me see if I can get my wife
do?
to get off the internet here.
Charles, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I'll answer all John's questions.
All right.
So
Charles,
Charles,
can you get off the internet and switch to data?
I'm going to drop John down for a moment. So, Charles, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you've got going on this weekend.
Now, I'm really excited. You know, one of these paranormal guys who do a lot of investigations on the East Coast, not far from Rhode Island. We're in Connecticut.
Cool.
CJ, you could have come visited. We could have showed you some amazing haunted places.
I would totally go. I love that.
We've also, just published a book called The Book of Top 10 Horror Lists.
No, wait, hold on a second. Let me get closer to that. There you go.
Where 100 celebrities gave us their top 10 horror themes. Everyone from William Shatner to one of the Beatles to Sarah Karloff. Just an amazing book. So I'll be signing copies of that. But I'm really excited. There hasn't been one before, and the fact that we're meshing horror and paranormal and celebrities, it's going to be just an amazing show. We hope there's going to be a phenomenal turnout.
Oh, I have no doubt. Well, let's try John one more time. John. John, can you hear me? I'll take that as a no. John, give me a stare blank if you
Hey.
can hear me.
Hey, can you hear me now?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, you're on a delay. So
Yeah,
John,
I can hear. I could. You know, the thing is, Charles comes through perfectly, and everybody else sounds like.
It's a paranormal supernatural thing. That's what it is.
that's it. That's it. Okay, so Charles,
Whoa.
somebody fell on you, man. That was kind of creepy when you said that. That was Dracula.
Oh,
no
it's
less.
just Bela Lugosi.
Hell was attacking us.
Makes
Okay,
sense.
so
Let
Charles,
me
give me our
get. Let
transmitter
me get closer to the router over here.
to the router. Okay.
I don't know what the issue is. I've never had a big problem with Zoom before.
Oh, you have two for the
I've
past
always
5
just
years.
zoomed right along.
I remember when we were with Dan Yeager the first time 5 years ago, and you were Max Headrooming. For kids out there who don't know who Max Headroom is, look it up.
5 years ago?
4 or 5 years
God.
ago, yeah, with Dan Yeager and Ron Scott. It's got to be almost that long ago.
Yeah, I know, but did we even have Zoom? Did we even have Zoom back then?
Well, I wasn't using Zoom back then, John.
Nah, it was something else.
Yeah. We're not going to discuss that, though, because I'm not advertising for them. But anyway, John, so tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're going to be doing this weekend.
Me? Okay. I was born a wee child in Brazil, Indiana,
Yes, we do.
a town of 7,500 redneck, stupid people.
Okay,
Which I
fast forward to
escaped at age
2021
18.
or 2022.
Okay, let's see. In the last few years, I've survived cancer and a major heart attack. And I've grown my hair out. And, you know, I've done a couple of films in the last few years. And now, because of the COVID, I got several in the pipeline that can't get me money. Can't get any financing. So I'm just on the road as often as possible, signing autographs and shaking hands and talking to people, which is not a bad deal. I mean, it's a pretty easy way to make a living, but I'd much rather be working, actually acting. But
So wait a minute. Are you saying
not
that
bad,
you wouldn't
but-
rather be drinking with me this weekend after the show?
oh, no. I would do that any day of the week.
Clearly.
Actually, I enjoy drinking alone and just talking to you on the internet. So.
Right on. Yeah, you're pixelating.
But I'm looking forward to this weekend. I'm looking forward to getting out of fucking 5 inches of snow in my yard and in my fucking driveway.
Well, you're just in time for a cool front down here because I think David, what's the high going to be, like 65 on Saturday? I think.
Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna be in
no!
the 60s.
Oh, that's still 35, degrees warmer than it is up here. So, I moved south to avoid this crap. After 30 years in Chicago,
Wow.
I'm in Tennessee and I've been snowed in for 2 days. What kind of bullshit is that?
Well, you should have moved a couple of more states south then. Apparently.
Plus these people down here, they freak out. Totally freak out when it snows.
Oh yeah, it's just like the Carolinas
They
and everywhere
clean
else.
out the supermarkets. They completely clean out the supermarkets. There's nothing left on the shelves. Nothing.
Oh, you've never experienced
like they
hurricane
need
season in Florida.
they need 3 shopping carts of food, to last for 2 days. Fucking, they just panic. Yeah.
I'm gonna flip those guys around. Okay, so John and Alan, when's the last time you guys did a con together?
We were at the Mahonic Drive-In
Oh, we did a con together
in September. That's the first time in a long time
And
that we were
this
together.
in Pennsylvania. Yeah, we were at the Mahone Drive-In,
That was a great
and
event.
we've done Bastrop, Texas together, and we've done a couple things together.
On the drive-in one?
But Alan doesn't travel as much as I do. Alan's not as much of a whore as I am. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll be there. Send me a plane ticket. I'm there, Daddy. Yeah.
Well, that's in February. We'll be at the Cult Classic together.
Maybe Alan's a little more selective than I am, but
the Cult Classic, Alan, that's in Bastrop?
Bastrop.
Yeah, Bastrop.
And that's going to be like a mini reunion again, because Daniel Pearl, who is the cinematographer, he'll be there, and some of the sound guys, some of the behind the scenes guys will be down there also, along with I think John and myself and Bill Vale, who'll be with us this weekend.
I'll be there for the event. Is it a full weekend event or is that a day event?
Which one?
The Cult Classic.
No,
I think it's just one day. No, is it?
What's that?
No, it's a full. It's Saturday and Sunday.
It's a 3-day event.
Yeah, I'm not too far
Friday
from
night,
Bastrop.
Saturday, Sunday.
Okay. Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. All right, so Charles, I know you're just not an author. You're much more. So can you delve into that a little bit, please?
Yeah, I've been in the horror field for a long time. Aside from being a fan from birth, literally, I'm the one who produces the Dracula tours to Transylvania. I've been doing that since the 90s, where we bring people on a vampire vacation, go to Romania, the real deal. Let's go up the Carpathian Mountains and Borgo Pass, follow in the footsteps of Jonathan Harker. Been doing that for a long time, and I've also been acting for a long time. I have my own haunted attraction in New England, but aside from that, I've been in a bunch of horror films and non-horror stuff, horror shorts, and so yeah, I'm one of these guys who's multiple hats, for different occasions. I produce Beatle conventions and do Beatle tours in Liverpool for the music end of things, but it's the horror stuff that I just eat it up between the Dracula tours, the paranormal conventions, and getting to act, and now starting to put out books. It'll be fun, meeting the people in Florida, signing autographs, and just meeting the fans. It's going to be really special.
I mean,
Does the Paranormal follow you? Do you have it like? Does it just not just at the conventions? Do you like right now the poster just back there? Like the stuff happen to you all the time?
Well, you saw Bella try
Yeah.
to attack me. No, actually, so I'm part of a team called the Shaman and the Showman. The Shaman is Nick Grossman, who's also going to be at the event at Horrorville this weekend for Saturday and Sunday, and he's the real deal. He's a shaman. He's an exorcist. A spiritualist. He walks into a house and he'll say, "Oh my God, someone died in such and such a room," and he gets it right. He can tell those type of things. I'm not the skeptic or the realist. I'm the showman of the two. So when we go out and present, I'm the one entertaining everyone. I'm setting things up. I'm the one who's like the promoter of the team, because I've done all this horror stuff so many years. But it's funny because before I met Nick, I was doing ghost tours to places like England, Hungary, Scotland, Ireland, Cuba, Israel, Prague, Germany, all these cool places.
holy crap.
But as a host, not as a paranormal investigator, to the point where people were starting to bring their own equipment because we're going to all these amazing haunted places, Borley Rectory, places you may not even heard of. And I'm not the expert there. I'm always bringing along someone else. When we did the England tours, we would bring along Richard Felix from the BBC's Most Haunted. So I was always that other guy. So when you ask me if there's, something haunted with me, I expect the scariest thing to be David Bradley over the weekend. That's what I'm doing.
We got Sean Smithson,
Hey,
who
Charles.
is a big fan.
Charles, can I ask you a question?
Yes, please, sir.
Joe, can I ask Charles a question?
Absolutely, go ahead.
When you were in Israel,
Yeah.
Did you investigate any places that were from like biblical times and shit?
So much so. In fact, before the tour, people were saying they said it for Cuba and they said it for Israel. What's haunted in those places? The answer to Israel is what isn't haunted. I mean, every biblical story, is it's deaths and so on and so forth. So, my feeling is whether it's a local lighthouse or a place of such important historical, biblical, significance, if a place is old enough and there have been deaths there and there have been atrocities, there's going to be haunted reciprocal factors. And in Israel, we combined the places that we knew were haunted with the regular tourist sites, and that's what we do everywhere. We combine the two. And it was a special tour. I mean, most of the people who went were people who'd been with me before and hadn't been there and just wanted to go to all those places. But they'd been with me to Frankenstein's castle in Germany. They'd been with me to all the scary places in London and everywhere else. So they already knew that the tour would be well hosted, well run. When we're on the coach, we show horror movies and, we do trivia. We make it fun for everybody. So they know it's already going to be fun. And what I've been trying to do with that is just go to new places all the time. So the same, A-list group of 25, 30 people who come on all our trips now have a new place to go. So we're looking at Italy, we're looking at Paris, we're looking at different places to go to in the future. Yeah.
All right, so what I wanted to do is
that is
Sean
so fucking
Smithson
cool.
said,
That's really cool.
Bucket list item visit Romania for Dracula's tour. I mean, wow, I couldn't even fathom doing it as much as you have with all these exotic places. And
Joe, we go to all the we're combining it with that trip. We combine the fiction and the fun of Dracula with the history and the legend of Vlad the Impaler, Vlad Tepes. So we're going to the top of his ruins, the real deal, the real castles. We're going to the places he was born in Shigashora. We're going to where he was buried, Snagov Island. In 1 week, we literally cover all of the places that are tied in with Dracula and with Vlad in that part of Romania, Bucharest and Brasov and all those places. If people are interested, the website is www.dractours.com, DRACTOURS. And this year we're doing 2. There's a lot of people who can't go when we have it during Halloween because a lot of us are in the haunted business. Guys like Alan and John could never go then because that's when their meat of their convention appearances are during Halloween in October. So we've added a summer version of it, and I'm going to be hosting it this summer if people want to go. We're doing both a San Francisco ghost tour and the Transylvania vampire vacation this summer. So people can just get in touch with me or ask me at the convention. Come on up and I'll give you all the information. If you want to do a focus again, if you want to do a close-up, there's promo on the Dracula tour to Transylvania. And this is a group of people who had been with us on a past trip. And what we do is, which is, so I think it's great, but of course I made it. The last night of every trip, it's automatically a costume party. No matter what the tour is, if we go to Hungary, if we go to Israel, if we go to Cuba, I don't care. The last night, so people know in advance to bring their best costumes, to bring their you see, there's a couple of Nosferatus there.
Oh yeah,
their best makeup, and we have a costume bazaar, a whole masquerade ball with a DJ and dancing, and it makes the trip just that much more special to end the trips that way.
I see CJ about to pounce. He's got stuff to ask. Go CJ, go.
I was just
CJ heard party and dancing and he got excited.
Badass.
I just want to make sure that's your dractoursrighthere.com. That's you.
Yeah.
All right. So I was just curious with all the experience you've been around and all this whole life you've been doing. What is like the one fact that you got from this that you're like, holy crap, I never thought I was going to stumble onto this. There's always something like that. There's always some.
Yeah. It happened unexpectedly. You would think we would have had the greatest, situations and revelations on the ghost tours, right? Whether it's Jack the Ripper or any of that stuff. And it's not on one of the Dracula tours, guys. This is going to really blow your minds. But we went to a place in Bucharest, we always stay at old ancient hotels because A, it saves me money on, fancy hotels. But B, if you're going on one of those trips, you want to be in as haunted or spooky as possible. But one year, all those hotels either were under renovation or what it was is there was a soccer match in Romania, in Bucharest. So all the hotels were booked. And the people who I work with said, well, we can get you someplace just out of the city, but it used to be a convent and it used to be an asylum. You're sure you want to stay there? I'm like, are you kidding? Right? Of course, that's where we want to stay. An asylum and an old monastery. Definitely. So we go there and we check in. And first night of every trip, we have a welcome dinner. We have a welcome dinner.
Sure John was
everybody.
okay.
We all meet each other and all that. And so we got our instructions. These are our rooms. Just if you can, the front deskman says, just stay out of the basement.
Oh, wow.
Well, guys, that's what we want to hear. Stay out of the basement. Really? A ghost tour? A Dracula tour? I mean, people who love horror? Anyway, we all check into our rooms. We meet in the lobby before dinner, and we go right to the basement. We go there. We explore it. There's a few locked doors. Anyway, it's old. It's creepy. We take pictures. We go upstairs. We have our dinner, and we're all jet lagged. We pretty much go to sleep. Well, it turns out there was one couple who never made it down. They're either shacking up or they fell asleep. We don't know what the deal was. I think they were newlyweds, so they have an excuse. Next morning, we're ready to check out of this hotel. And it's fancy. It's nice. It's got a moat around it. It's got a beautiful scenery. And we said, oh, you guys, the couple, where were you last night? You didn't join us. Yeah, we slept. We had snacks in the room, but we came down after midnight and everyone was asleep. I go, oh, well, you missed going to the basement. She goes, no. We went to the basement. We went downstairs and, guy said it was going to be locked, but it wasn't locked. And, when we went down there, all the other doors weren't locked either. And we're all, our eyes are opening, our ears, perking up. The guy behind the desk who's checking us out, his face turns white. He's like listening so intently. They go, yeah, we went down. And then there was some kind of like place under the basement. I don't know if it was a sub basement or what. It was the bowels of this place. And we were walking down this long corridor. It seemed to go on forever. But halfway there, we saw the security guard. And we were just very embarrassed, because all we had was a lighter that gave us light. And, we thought he was going to say, you're arrested or you got to get out of here or you got to be, go back to Anyway, we just walked by and then we thought, you know what, maybe we should follow him out. We turned around and he was gone. And we go, oh, interesting. This was in the sub-basement. The front desk man says, what was he wearing? And they go, well, come to think of it, he was wearing this, it seemed like ancient, old-fashioned clothing. It looked like war. And he goes, oh my God, you saw him. So guys, there's a ghost that haunted this place that only dwells in this sub-basement, which is always locked, not accessible. And sure enough, this couple had an encounter and didn't even know it till the front deskman told us. So CJ, I hope that answers your question, because this is one of those things you can't book, you can't plan, you can't promote. And then when it happens, it's like, wow.
All right. So I got to do the cookie cutter thing right now, Alan. So what was your best con experience for you?
Well, I've enjoyed all of them, but I think the first one that I did was, I think, in 2004, because that was the first time. And I think that was in Ohio. And I guess I was like fresh meat for them, because, Gunnar was like a pro and he had a whole line of, merchandise, and all I had was one picture. And I said, there's nothing I can, I'm dead in the water. But it turned out they all came with, posters and photos and chainsaws for me to sign and tattoos for me to sign.
Oh, nice.
So really, for the first time, it was a great event, because I literally thought I'd be meeting mainly serial killer, wannabe type of people, and it turned out they were the nicest people. They just had tattoos and piercings, but they were lovely people, and it's been like that pretty much every event that I've gone to.
Horror fans are the coolest fans ever, and I find them to be the most respectful as well.
Exactly.
Very supportive. Very, very supportive.
Right. So,
yeah.
John, are you alive? I'll take that as a no.
Moving on.
Moving on. So, Alan, again, another con question. Actually, just like a fan base question. Have you received any fan art from people? And if so, do you have a favorite?
Actually, hold on 1 second.
Sure.
I had a fan make an action figure.
Wow.
Nice.
And he moved from I guess Washington to Texas. I think they're living in Pflugerville, which is about 10-12 miles from Austin. And he brought it to me, and it's really cool and really a nice guy. And so, you know, as far as fan art, you know,
that's beautiful. I mean, to have an action figure after yourself, that's.
And then something real new is about a month ago, I was on one of those fan sites, and I saw a van that looked just like the van that I drove in the movie.
Oh, cool.
And I tracked it down to a fella in South Dakota, and the guy's name is Scott Key. And my opening line after I called the number, I said, you know, you're not any relationship to Francis Scott Key, who wrote the Star Spangled Banner, and he's like his 10th, you know, nephew or great uncle or whatnot.
Wow.
It turned out to be a super guy. And I told him, I said, I know you don't have it, but by any chance, do you have the van? He says, yes, I do. So I told him, well, you know, I'm the OG, I'm the driver, I got to get it. And he was kind enough to say, you got it. And he brought it down here in Austin. And right now it's at my mechanics, and we're going to restore it and paint it and put the blood stain on it. And we'll be good to go at, you know, conventions wherever I can get to.
That is amazing.
It's amazing. It is amazing because it's got the sliding door. You know, it's got everything you want in a van.
Sweet. CJ, what do you got, brother?
Alan, I am on your IMDb page, and I have here a narrator critic you have is Cannibal Comedian. Can you tell us something about that?
You know, I don't know much about it other than they contacted me and asked if I would do a voiceover, you know, for it. And actually I did it, but I did it at a time where we had a freeze here in Austin.
Yeah.
And so we lost power. We had no heat. I was living in my kitchen, you know, for like, you know, 2 days and still having to do this voiceover for them. But basically, I think it may be coming out in the summertime, and it's about a cannibal who goes into stand-up comedy. And that's really all I know about that. And then about a month ago, I shot another movie where I'm dead. So that's the story of my life, you know?
Yeah.
And when I was done, you know, it was about 3 hours of pretty intense stuff. They gave me a standing ovation, and I felt like Sally Fields at the Oscars, where, you know, you like
they really like me.
So that's where it's at, you know, for me, you know. So I'm having the time of my life.
That's cool. I'm at Austin too. The freeze was I was in my kitchen too.
Brutal.
Yeah. The oven was my friend for a minute.
I didn't realize it got that cold in Texas.
It doesn't typically, but this was like a freak, you know, where it was like 3 or 4 days, and we weren't prepared for it, and the grid got all messed up, and, you know, sometimes they just don't take care of business down here.
It was literally like a blanket of snow just fell on top of us, and then it just went away.
Yeah, it was snow on the ground. You know, it's rare that we get that.
So, John, are you ready for a question? Can you hear us?
I hear you perfectly right now. Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, so what's your favorite convention experience? What's the best one you ever had?
Right now, not right now. It says I'm backstage. Can you hear me and all that shit?
I can hear you and all that shit. And you're gone.
This is the game.
He's here for the comedy relief.
For the past 5 years. Wait, now he's opening a different window. How many Johns are there going to be? It's like a very scary Hollywood Squares.
It's like, to tell the truth. Well, the real John Dugan.
Oh, I know. Fucking. As
That's the
we
way
say in Indiana, this sucks donkey in hell. My best convention experience, there's been many, but
You gotta have a
I'll
favorite of
tell you
all
the best
time.
moneymaker was Monster Mania in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, I think. Which it was the first time a lot of us had all been together. We had one whole half a room. And I signed so many autographs that I had writer's cramp, I could barely use my left hand by the time the thing was over. I mean, it was just one after another after another. But, I was only charging, at the time, 10.
I don't know what he said.
He was only charging $10, probably $10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that in 1965? Wait, we got another John window.
At the time was, are you there? Fuck, double fuck.
One fuck is sufficient. We don't need...
Oh, hey, I'm on.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, everybody. Hey, Uncle John here. How you doing, children?
We got David Madison chiming in.
When I take it that time, I only charged $10 for an autographed photo, and what I would have made now that weekend is just mind-boggling. But my favorite, maybe, and I've done it several times, is Pensacon in Pensacola, Florida, because the city, it's a big deal for the city of Pensacola. And they just embrace us, and they take such good care of us. And, Mike Inslee, who's the promoter, he puts you up in a really nice hotel.
And we lost him. All right.
I think he uses the F word more than the whole Peacemaker series.
So, Charles, how do you compete with that, man? What do you got?
F.
I do have a question for David. I was when you started doing the conventions, was it somewhere that you started off like from a fan, or did you start off as you just saw an opportunity, or just something you wanted to get into?
No, I started off as a talent agent back in 2007, and then in 2008, John Snyder and the cast of Dukes of Hazzard invited me to Dukes Fest up in Atlanta, and I had such an amazing time at their big convention that I was hooked. And then it just took me a while, but I was able to start, producing them on my own. So.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, man. I barely got into them in the end of the tail end of 2018, but I mean, even with the pandemic, I was still hitting them. Anything from virtual to just anything around Austin or Central Texas. But they look like it takes a little bit of just organization and communication, because there's just a lot of things, a lot of wheels turning on one time.
And money.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. And a good friend of the Indie Escape, CW, he has a con up in Canada, and yeah, it's even worse up there when it comes to money. Good God.
Oh man.
David, you do a lot of promotions though. You do a lot of different things in the entertainment field, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we promote bands, musicians, solo, complete bands. We promote actors, actresses, models, you name it. We promote.
All right.
Awesome. So I've got like 5,000 questions for Alan, but I kind of want to wait a little for Saturday and Sunday. But CJ, I know you've got tons of questions for everybody, and you're the expert.
Oh.
Go. No pressure.
No, I just think from like a fan's point of view, going into like conventions, Like it's two sides, you know. There's the fan part and then there's the talent part. And I do know it does take a toll on some people just to be like hi and to tell a story as many times as you can. From just like an experience of just going as like to a convention and having that downtime and having to actually be a part of the convention. Do you guys? I mean, I know it's kind of like work, but when the day's over, do you go and explore the city you're in, or do y'all just kind of unwind? What's like the big thing you like to go do when you're at a convention, Charles? Start with you.
Bring the fans back to the rooms. No, just kidding. No, it's a great question, but the first part of the question, having attended, Chiller and Monster Mania and all these great conventions through the years, the only place I was ever a guest was at Horror Find in Maryland, and they don't have that show anymore. But I would always judge the costume contest, and I'd be there, as a quasi celebrity because of drag tours. But now, since I've done the book, I'm behind the table doing what I would always do. I'd always go up to the authors and the actors and I'd say, "Oh, can I have your autograph? Can I take a picture with you?" And it's just so cool to be on the other side of that because I'm still that fan, but now I'm able to sign books. And I try to go that extra yard. What's your name? I'll do that. I'll give them a free, promo card. Just thank you so much for coming up. That means a lot, and if you come on, a lot of times I'll do conventions where people have been on my Dracula tours. So they're all coming over to surprise me. I don't even know that they're coming to the shows, and it's a real treat for me being not starting out as this actor who's now doing the shows as a celebrity like Alan, like our two friends are here, John and Al. But for me, it's more I've been the fan most of my life, on the periphery of the being the person who's on the other side of the table, but now being on the other side of the table, it's awesome. I just love every second of it.
No, I love
So,
that.
Alan, have you been starstruck at any of the cons?
Yeah. I was at one where I think Amanda Plummer was there, which is Christopher Plummer's daughter, and Malcolm McDowell.
Oh.
And that guy, he could just read the phone book, and I would be entertained. But they were really nice, and it was great, to listen to these people and the experience that they have. To me, I just was lucky to be at the right place at the right time to be in this, in this movie. But I still refer to myself as the Kmart blue shopper, discount star. So I'm amazed that people, love this movie and love what I did, in it. So I love the fans are terrific and they have really wonderful questions, and it's a treat. It really is.
Ray is asking, Joe and CJ, what cosplay characters are you dressing up as this weekend? Well, CJ's not going to be there, but I will. I'm going to be dressed up as the fat man without the fat suit.
I am dressing up, even though I won't be there. I will be dressed up. I'll be, my Spider-Man onesie kind of shrunk, so I got to be something else, but I'll figure something out.
I just received a message from John. I'll leave out a couple of the expletives, but he's tapping out and he said he'll see us all this weekend. And again, 5 years now, we've been going through this. CJ is going to dress up as the Crow.
Oh, why are you giving my secrets out?
Wow. All right. Well, guys, I think we're going to start wrapping this up. What I would like to do is go around the room and tell us where we can find you on the social medias and anything you want to promote. Alan, I would love to start with you, if I may, please.
Yeah, well, you can find me. I have my own website, chainsawjerry.com. And I'm also on Facebook, but some of the other things like Twitter and whatnot, I'm not that hip to yet. And but I'm looking forward to being at this convention. I'll have my bobbleheads. I'll have some T-shirts, and my newest thing would be Chainsaw Jerry's Killer Beef Jerky.
Get out of here!
And the tagline is "We were the meats."
I'm going to have to get a picture of you with that.
Yeah. So we're getting a lot of response, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there. and having a good time, and hopefully signing some autographs, and I'll have, a lot of my photos and stuff like that. So I hope everybody can make it out there.
It was great seeing you, Alan. I will see you Saturday. Thank you for joining us, sir.
My pleasure. And as they say, it's better to be seen than viewed.
Good night.
Good night, Alan.
Wow, what a great guy. I'm very much looking forward to that. All right, Charles.
Hey,
Hey, where
So-
can they find you on the socials?
so we've got a website for Book of Top 10 Horror Lists.com. If people want to get the book, if they're not in the Cocoa area and they want to get it by mail, just go to that website. But if they're anywhere in driving distance, I don't care, 4 hours away, whatever, come this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, go to the website horrorvillecon.com. It's Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be fun. I mean, there's conventions that have been going on for hundreds of years, and there's millions of people, and you got to wait in lines forever for the guests. I envision this to be a lot more family oriented. You'll have so much access to all the special guests and the vendors, and I really think it's going to be just a wonderful time. If you don't come and you want information on any of our events, dractours.com is a great way to go, and also ghosttour.com with one T, GHOSTOUR.com. So there's all the promotion, but I really am looking forward to meeting some of the viewers from the show and all the people in the area who can come down this weekend.
I will definitely be there, and I'm looking forward to meeting you, sir. I appreciate you joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right, Charles.
All right, David.
Yes,
Front
sir.
and center, man. What do you got?
Do you still have my graphic to put up?
Man, you divas are so demanding.
There you go. That has the website, which Charles just said, and a little bit about it and where it's at. The Space Coast Convention Center here in Cocoa. We're going to give away the Chucky doll, the costume and vendor contests, a room full of vendors, and all our celebrities, man. It's going to be a great time.
I agree. And I've got a question for the chainsaw crew that a few years ago I asked John, and John kind of flipped out a little. So I'm kind of hoping to get the same response.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it's family friendly, you said. That may not be good then.
We'll,
Yeah, you
we'll have
gotta
to
be-
judge it by the audience.
John doesn't have a filter, so that's a little concerning.
Right.
But David, you got anything else before we check out?
No, sir, I'm good.
All right. I appreciate you coming on. I will see you on Saturday. Thank you for everything.
Hey, I appreciate you having us, man.
Absolutely. Have a good evening.
Yes, sir.
CJ.
What's going on?
Hi. Well, I had a few people IMing me. I do apologize. There were a couple of guests that couldn't make it at the last moment. Krista and Hayden only found out about half hour, 45 minutes prior to the show starting. But we will be speaking with them at the con, or when I say we, I mean
The group, the family.
yes, exactly.
The
We're going to do
Indiescape.
some live footage, and it's going to be a blast. CJ, you sure you can't surprise me there?
You know what? I've never been to Florida, and it's actually not a far flight. I think I could make it like in less than 2 hours.
Well, I
That's
mean,
right.
if you start driving now,
Yeah, you know what? I could. I just got to go through Louisiana and Alabama, and then let's see if I can survive those, and I'll get there. I would totally love the horror conventions. Are by far like my favorite conventions, just to go to be like one-on-one with people and to get down with amongst the regular, just like people like myself, you know. And
I feel like an ass. I didn't even put up who's going to be there.
all right.
Good God, sorry.
We're still on. We're still on. It's good. We're still on. We're still there. But I did. The Texas Frightmare. I met Malcolm McDowell, and I got lucky. Like he must have finished like a lunch break or something. Like he was just by himself. I mean, his crew was there, but he was. And I was like, I had my skip pass. I had it for him, and I was like, I'm just gonna walk up and see. He says hi. He goes, hey. I was like, oh wow. It's just like the sea parted, and there he was. So I got to meet him for a little bit, but I did tell him when you need to write a good villain, just think of him. And he goes, "Oh, great!" So now I to piss people off in their dreams, and Arca said something about if you have a nightmare, just think of all your characters, all your villains. And he was like, "Oh, that's nice." I was like, "Oh," but yeah. So Mark Patton from Nightmare Elm Street 2 will be there, and then Felissa Rose from the Camp Sleepaway. Felissa. Then Brian Bremmer. I don't know what is this? The Pump was this. He is from The Walking Dead, the video game. He's also. I'm looking off the website, so let me see real quick.
There's a bunch of cool cats that are going to be there. I mean, it's definitely worth going. Everybody in Martin and St. Lucie County that knows me, it's an hour and a half north. Easy trip. Could be a day trip. Could be an extended weekend. I'll be there all weekend.
And this convention center, is it a big size? Is it like because even the one I went to one in Colorado Springs, and that one was in a hockey rink, which actually worked out.
Hockey rink? I don't know. I've never been to this establishment before, so I'm assuming it's medium to large.
Okay.
But again, I'll be broadcasting live this weekend, so I'll be showing everything and everybody.
I'll be looking forward to those videos. So, are you gonna give us any behind the scenes stuff? Are you gonna be?
I'm gonna try to, absolutely. And I going in as press for the Indie Escape, thanks to David, and yeah, gonna do whatever I can. And I'm just looking. We got a few things to plug. We've got Monday nights with your show on the Indie Escape Network. Actually, I should have started on Sunday nights with David Lee Madison's The End of the Night, and then your show. And then Gabe is on sabbatical right now, but he'll be back soon on Tuesday nights. We've got Steve's show on Wednesdays, which I don't have a current Steve. That's the most current I have for Steve, but yes, the Macabre Art Tales with Steve Gray. Thursday nights, we either have Mick and Kurt with Dream Warrior review, or we have Daniela and why am I drawing a blank on her husband's name?
Ray,
thank you, with their show. Wow, that was embarrassing, huh?
I mean, he's here in the live stream, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know, right? So I'm gonna catch crap for that later.
And then Friday nights we got Brandon E. Brooks, and Brandon did have a comment.
Joe, are you and Dugan hosting a big sweet party at the con? Well, that's the whole thing. John and I were talking behind the scenes for the past week, and I said, I'm gonna have drinks, man. So either at the suite or by the pool, let's have a couple of drinks and relax. CJ, no, that's it. Saturdays, I'm sorry, Scott Meany is going to start his on February 5th. He just had an awesome special this Saturday, which his numbers freaking exploded, man.
Yeah, I would if you get a chance, go back and watch that movie. It's an awesome movie.
Awesome movie. You were involved with it, and
yeah,
at the end credits, and hey, I got a thanks, which I greatly appreciated, and so did the Indie Escape.
Nice.
But so, CJ, gonna put you on the spot now. Where can we find you and your shows, brother?
So Monday nights here on the Indie Escape, you can find me at My Manic Mondays. It's the mental health and movies show. Next week's episode, I will have another Indie Escape family member, Jason Burton will be on. So I'm bringing one of the Buterin. Sorry, Jason Buterin will be on. El Diablo. So he'll be hanging out with us next week, and it's just a show where we talk about movies, we talk about mental health, and we just unwind a little bit, kind of hang out. But yeah, I'll be there, and you could see me terrorize everybody else on the Indie Escape as they do their shows. I love watching our shows. I love our network. It's pretty fun just to kind of see everybody blossoming and where we're at now, where we started, and where we're going. It's fun.
Our goal is 7 days a week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here again. Horrorville this weekend in Cocoa, Florida. the 22nd and 23rd. It is going to be a great time. Please come and join us.
Joe, I do have a question on these 2-day conventions. Are they more like crammed in? Like I've only been to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday ones. Are they more like crammed to like you only have 2 days? Or is it a lot hard? The nameless person is signing off. That's Ray.
Ray, man. Okay, for those of you who don't know, I explained this to people pre-show. I got the second Pfizer shot today, so my brain is shot. I'm just I'm getting the effects and everything, and it's just like, whew, sorry. So Ray, I know who you are, and I do apologize. But
we'll cut it. We're good. We're good.
But I'm sorry, the 2-day convention thing.
No, I just had a quick question on the way out. Just with the 2-day convention, would people expect to like get there a little bit earlier, or should just take it with stride? Because I always end up going like a day early. That's always my thing. But
I would take it with stride and be there Saturday.
Saturday's,
I think I'm hoping. Well, I'm not hoping, but I think Saturday is going to be the bigger turnout than Sunday.
Okay.
But that's just an opinion. On that note, we are going to say good night. Everybody joining in, please make sure you go to the Indie Escape YouTube channel, like and subscribe, and the Facebook page. We greatly appreciate it. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it does us a world of good. Good night, everyone.
Good night.